Let's go. All right, hope you guys are making money today. We are sitting in SPY puts that are not working out, but our Boeing play is. Starting to see the market, a little bit of green shoots here on Tesla and on Apple. Maybe the bottom is in for the day. We have quite a range to go on SPY though, right? So we have our pre-market. This is our previous day low from the spike yesterday of the little dump that happened after the CPI data that came out. So the bottom of the range is, no, not the bottom of the range. What am I talking about? The previous day low is way down here, and then we're kind of sitting at the yesterday's highs here. I'll show you what I mean here. Let me blow up this chart real quick. All right, so right when we do our pre-market levels in the morning, let me put this at least an hour so it's not so convoluted. So when we do our levels in the morning, right, we know that our right, this is our previous day high, previous day low. Our green line is our pre-market high, and then our pre-market low is right here, which is that red dotted line. So those are our levels to watch today. We do that every morning pre-market. We set those levels, and then the range for the week on the SPY is 520 to the top side and 503 to the downside. Let me turn this music down. Hang on. Sometimes I think it drowns me out. Anyway, let me show you. What was I saying here? So SPY has an expected move of $8.62 for the week. So it would be 520 to the top side and 503 to the downside. So we're kind of hanging out at the top of the range here, which could just doesn't really mean anything. It just kind of gives you levels to watch as you're trading for the week. So it's just that. But like I said, I've been trying to preach to my watchers here, whoever watches the stream, that you need to have a little bit of a plan going into the day. You know, have a game plan. Don't just approach the market and pick stocks and go, I think I'm going to join this one today. Like, really have a process for yourself, and do some pre-planning, so then you don't get burned on these trades. I mean, it happens every day. We get burned on trades. You know, they take our money. So don't let that happen to you. And how you avoid that is by, you know, having an idea of how you're going to trade the day, especially if you're going to be trading intraday. You know, have an idea of what you want, what do you want to see, and what do you need to see in order for you to place a trade or get out of a trade, things like that. You know, have an idea. So that's why I set my levels. I know that this is the previous day high. I know this is my pre-market high. I know that those are areas of resistance, right? I know that, you know, if we break those, we probably have momentum to the upside because they will be breaking the previous day high. So those little things like that are going to help you. And you really just get that experience from spending time in the charts and watching the price action and back testing and asking questions and looking for the answers, watching other people trade, you know, developing your own little strategy. So all these little things, man, it's part of the journey. So make no mistake, man, there's just no free lunch. You're not going to make $10,000 just because you put that money to work for you. It just doesn't work that way. You know, and the unexperienced, undisciplined traders will come out losers. That's just the reality of it. And not just in trading, in life, right? So it's not just a trading thing. You got to come prepared. Better comes correct, son. That's how the young kids would say it. You better comes correct. All right, look at SPY. They're breaking that channel now. So we have like two channels going on SPY now. So we're watching both. So we're watching the upward channel here forming, and then we do have a overall channel here. And it's still respecting that top of this range here, still getting rejected up there. So let's see what gives. And if you're in options, this is what eats your premium, right? It was not going up to get out, and it's not going down to make money. It's just sitting in the middle. You're out. You're out of the money. So your premium is just eroding away as this time decay effect takes place, right? So you got to get to 515 before the end of the day. It's like a race. You got to get to 515 before the end of the day. If not, you paid $50 to do that. All right, we got about 2 more minutes here for the next candle. We'll see if this breaks this channel finally. But you're seeing some bullish momentum here on Tesla, and Apple is holding the upward support line here. So good signs for those stocks. Interesting here. Got about 1 more minute to the next candle. Yep, exactly. 55 seconds. We'll see what this next candle gives us on SPY. Hasn't really picked. I mean, it has an overall downward trend, right? I mean, you see that. It's pretty clear, right? But then we hit this bottom, right? And when you see these kind of candles, it's an indecision candle, right? Who won here? The winners, who was the losers? It's just an indecision candle. So maybe a little bit of an indecisiveness in the market, at least on SPY. All right, here's your next candle here shortly. Oh, I'm tripping. Got it. Yeah, it's a minute now. I'm sorry. Apparently, I don't know how to tell time. Yeah, so now we're 40 seconds away. So look what's happening. Right as we're hitting where the next candle's gonna print, you're starting to see a little bit of rejection happen here. And if that happens, the next candle should open below the 5-day MA line here. All right, there's your next candle. Oh, I'm tripping, guys. 8:30 is our next candle, not 8:25. Oh my god. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, Boeing going good. It's losing that 5-day MA line. Tesla, a little bit of a bounce. Apple's holding just barely, guys. I mean, it literally just barely. Just barely. It's barely hanging on. So we do got about, what was it? What did we say? I'm tripping. We do got about 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes here to the next candle. All right, traders. Man, 8:26. So I'm going to bring this up again real quick, just if anybody's on here, just to show you guys. So this is, I keep this sheet around. I keep that sheet around and I study it, right? So when I'm sitting on my hands, not doing anything necessarily, I'm kind of studying this little sheet here to help me try to remember patterns as they're happening. So you can find this online anywhere. If you don't want to look for it, you want to ask me for it, I guess you can just hit me up. Follow me on Instagram at Shimano Trader, and I'll get it over to you. But other than that, these are things to keep, just keep them around, study them when you get a chance. Look at them when you're in your downtime, in between, in between something. In between doing things, keep it around and study it and get familiar with patterns because it helps you. And if you've been watching me trade, you'll see that you'll find drawings on my chart. You'll find notes. You'll find like highlights of candle formations that just intrigue me. Then I go back and look for an explanation as to why that happened. So, you got to put in the work, man. If you want to have a long career in trading, if you want to be able to, pull thousands of dollars out of the market at any given moment, you need to put in that time. I think an analogy people use is like if you read a book and then you got to go out and try it, right? You could read all the books you want and everything. I think that's where the example comes at. If you read the book on how to be a good basketball player, you don't just become a good basketball player because you read the book, right? It just doesn't work that way. So you have to learn it and then go out there and execute it, fail a couple of times, and then get back up and then get back into it. And that's how you build that's how you build that fortitude that you need in this emotional game that is called stock trading. It is an emotional lifestyle for sure. I mean, there's been moments that I'm pissed off at my family because I lost money in the stock market. They don't even know why. I don't even know why. I'm just mad. I have a frown in my face. I don't feel good. I'm moody. I'm short. And, my wife who knows me well, she'll be like, not a good day in the market, huh? And I'm like, damn, how do you know that? Right? Like, how do you know that? So protect the people around you. Don't let, that's what I mean, right? So that's why you can't use money. There was a quote that I heard, Josh Answers, the trading fraternity. Shout out to those guys, man. That's my inspiration for trading, and not for trading, my inspiration for streaming. But he talks about this quote because sometimes we'll do, you will take risky trades during earnings time. Like there's this whole strategy called 2 standard deviation, and that's why I'm in Lyft. I'm in Leap calls for Lyft for January of 2025. I got those for like $20, and I'm up I'm up a lot on them. But they don't expire till January of 2025. But anyway, he talks about before he starts telling us what the plays are, and we start executing our plays. He tells us, he goes, hey, money that you need is cursed, right? So if you need this money and you're gonna put this money on this trade and say, I need to double my money, I'm gonna listen to what Sergio says, I'm gonna listen to what Shimano Trader says, I'm gonna listen to what Josh says, and you need that money, it's cursed money. You should not be spending money that is either picking between feeding your family and trading the stock market. Should not be even a question. All right, got the next candle now for real, guys. This one's for real. Here it is. All right, that's your next candle right now. Bam, there it is. So now, right? So it's an obvious trend to the downside, right? It's not your tricks are not, your eyes are not deceiving you. You see this downward trend happening. So you can capitalize on that, but you gotta manage your risk, right? Things can change in a minute, in a second. All right, let's adjust this here. All right, so I extended it, and you see how it's going down, staying below the 5-day MA line. All good indicators that we're on the right side of this trade so far. Let's see where we're at, by the way. All right, so our SPY trade is now down $12.50. So we're still down 23% on that trade. It cost us, full transparency here, it cost us $54 to buy that trade plus 65 cents contract fee. So now it is down $14.50, but we're going to stay in that trade because it's going in our direction. So we're going to continue to stay there. Our Boeing trade update, 362% trade on Boeing so far. 362% trade on Boeing so far. I'm taking that baby to expiration, man. I mean, outside of it just rocketing up, which I doubt. I mean, people are dying around the name of Boeing. I probably shouldn't laugh about that, but that is going to remain bearish, and we're in pretty good on Boeing. I'm so happy. That's been a great trade this week. Yeah, see, very slow day. Yeah, indeed, Sean. That's right. All right, so now we're watching. If you want to, we have this upward channel here, the upward channel, right? So now the price action has fallen out of that channel, right? And now it's kind of almost retesting the bottom, right? It fell out of the channel, now it's testing the bottom of the channel. It's falling out and it's testing it. So we're gonna see what happens here. Might get rejected now, right? Now this, what it used to be support, now becomes resistance. So we'll see what this candle does here in the next couple minutes here, and see if it gets rejected, and it's going to continue to respect the downward trend of the downward channel. So seems like the downward channel is winning over the upward channel here. So we're watching that together. All right, just looking around the marketplace here. IoT is chilled out. Baba still forming that bull flag. Lyft is possibly forming a bull flag as well. Not looking really good there as well. And then AMD is at the bottom of our weekly range. If you know what that means, the expected range for AMD, the bottom side was 193.52, and we're at 194.63. We've actually breached that level at least once. But we are now at the bottom of the range in AMD, and that could just mean that we're going to reverse to the upside, or it could also mean that there's further room to fall. All right, traders, see what kind of price action have. Really slow day in the market today. Hopefully, you guys are in some winning trades. Also, let us know where you're joining us from. If you're joining us from anywhere in the country, outside of the country, I'd love to shout out your country. And, I have always enjoyed meeting people And I love to hear from where you guys are at and where you're joining me from. So put it in the chat. Let me know where you guys are joining us from, and thanks for hanging out with us today. All right, still seeing some good moves here on Boeing. Still starting to really break that support there on the 5-day EMA line. Apple still holding the upward support line here, little upward support line, and Tesla is now retesting the 5-day EMA line here. See what it does. Chips look weak today too. I haven't seen Nvidia, but AMD's down. Marvel's down as well. Nvidia's down 4.22%, and so is Marvel. So that's interesting. A little bit of a pullback maybe there on chips. BABA might be breaking out, and so may be Lyft. Let me see if I can switch that real quick on the OBS here real quick. I'll show you what I mean. So here you go. See what I mean? So on this chart here, you have a Lyft here, little bullish flag. You're seeing BABA here almost break out of this bullish flag too, right? So this is your pole, this is your flag, right? Seeing a little breakout. So BABA and Lyft are looking really solid for upward momentum. You can jump into calls, not a recommendation, not financial advice. You can and will lose money, but Lyft and BABA look solid for a breakout, specifically BABA at this level here. Let me see if I can extend that level of this is the endpoint here. Let me see. Do it to the 15. All right, so now you're gonna have this is your breakout area. $78 on BABA is your breakout area, and on Lyft you're just gonna get above the EMA line here. I'm sorry, you're gonna break out of this bullish flag formation, and that should give you some upward momentum there. So yeah, keep those on watch, man. Those look strong. And then SPY continuing, just overall trend is looking down for SPY. So we're going to remain in our puts for today. And then Boeing, oh, man, Boeing's been so profitable, man. Not only in this trade, but just for the year, like the entire year I've been watching BABA. And that's another thing that I tell anyone who wants to listen, which is, pick a handful of stocks. Like have your handful of stocks that you watch daily, you interact with daily, you chart, There's, I don't know what it says, over 12,000 shares, or I'm sorry, over 12,000 stocks or something like that, or maybe even more than that. So why are you chasing down every stock, every Planter, Rivian, SoFi, it just have your basket of fries. Have your basket of fries. You have your basket of fries too. Have your basket of stocks that you're familiar with, right? Get familiar with those stocks and how they move, and then you're able to trade, right? You get very comfortable watching how they trade. So that's one of the best advice that I got is don't be switching companies. Look for a handful of stocks, and then you have your spec. You have your little basket of speculation stocks, but have a handful of stocks that you like to trade. Tesla, Apple, whatever they are. Have that little basket of stocks, and then get familiar with them. Watch them all the time. Even if you're not trading them, watch the price action on them. You'll start getting this familiarity with them. Right? And you start getting very comfortable, and you don't get too crazy when they move up or down. All of a sudden you're reading news about it, you're searching information on it, and it's almost like you ever heard that thing about your reticular, right? Where it says, let's say you want to buy a Toyota Tacoma, and you're like, I want a red Toyota Tacoma, right? And that's all you're thinking about. And then when you're driving, all you see is red Toyota Tacomas everywhere. Well, it's the same thing with this example, right? If you have your basket of stocks that you like, and you're always into, and you're watching, and you're reading up on it, then you'll tend to be drawn to more. You'll be more aware of what that company is doing, and it can help you trade, right? So any edge we can develop as traders is a good strategy. Bond action today at 1 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be what, 10 o'clock our time? Yeah. So we'll see what happens in the bond action. That could be a catalyst for the market. So you guys be careful out there. Trade with caution. So that'll be in about an hour and a half. We're gonna get the bond sale results. Raise more money. All right, we got about 5 more minutes into the next candle here on SPY. We're really kind of just, like slowly grinding down overall intraday. So look, funny thing, right? We talked about this candle. Right now, it fell out of the channel, and now it's being rejected at the bottom of the channel. It's now what used to be support is flipped into resistance. So we see if this candle can get back into this channel, or it's going to continue to grind lower and start using this as the resistance line as it tries to break through that. Patience is the name of the game, guys. So you come hang out with me. Let's listen to some tunes. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about business. What are we doing? What are you doing? How are you moving your money around? What are you focused on outside of shares? You got to be business related, right? It's all to make us grow. Not just all about money, but just personally growing as well. So, feel free to share anything like that or start a conversation about those topics, and, we'll jump on that. We'll jump on that topic and expand on it as we watch, as we trade, and not just be so focused on the trading side of it so much, but just have a combination. I have a community of people that are just like-minded. Listen to some good copyright music. All right, we got about 5 more minutes here on the next candle. Slow price action today. Oh. Okay, good. Yeah, so chips look pretty weak still. If you're looking at Marvel, if you're looking at AMD, I'm not going to look for NVIDIA. I mean, there's just so much. NVIDIA is, that's another level, right? That's just a whole different level there. But Marvel and AMD are selling off a bit. And look at SPY, right? Like now got rejected here. It got rejected right at the bottom of this channel. So what used to be support, right? Support, breach, retest, rejection. So you see that, and those are the kind of things that you want to look out for, as you can see that it's going to continue to go down, or at least we have the probabilities, right? Nothing's for sure, and as traders we want to talk about probabilities, not a for sure, oh, it's going to go down. You could say there's a high probability that this is going to continue lower. That's probably the proper way of saying it. We get caught up in all that stuff, man. I mean, we really what's the word that we use? We project how we're feeling onto the market rather than letting the market show us what's really happening and then allowing us to react and adjust to the market. We start saying, oh, this is going to continue lower, like we have a lot of certainty. So when we say things like there's a probability of it going lower, it kind of checks you a little bit. It kind of makes you go, it's not for sure, but high probability. Give you guys a quick Bitcoin price. Bitcoin 72,908. Damn. I know. Almost 73,000 on Bitcoin. Good luck, man. All my diamond hands, congrats, man. All my Bitcoin enthusiasts. I've been preaching Bitcoin for years. So all my friends and family about it, whether they took me up on it or they didn't, it doesn't matter. I've got my exposure into Bitcoin, and I'm really glad that I got into it and I discovered that. I actually discovered it on my own, on the Cash App. We used to go out to lunch when I used to work. We used to go out to lunch and we used to split the bill, and everybody had a Cash App and we used to send each other money. And then I started looking around. I've been trading for years, so I was curious, and I'm like, oh man, like, what's this Bitcoin digital currency stuff? And I started reading into it, and it was so cheap. It was so easy to buy. I was just, all right, you could buy like $1 worth, $2 worth. And that's how my journey started with crypto. And yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Just, especially if you're a trader, man, like why wouldn't you want to be exposed to something like Bitcoin? It just blows my mind. And I've been in it for years. I've been through the whole speculation bubble. It's gonna go away, everything, and that's what all my people and all my friends and family would tell me. They would just parrot the same thing. Oh, it's a scheme. Are we gonna lose our money? Blah 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 blah. And meanwhile, here we are at 73,000 guys. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to see the opportunity in things, and you got to be able to go against the grain. You can't roll with the crowds, and that's how you get rewarded. That's how you get rewarded, by not going with the crowds. Contrarian thinking is not usually a bad thing. And sometimes you're early, right? And you feel dumb because you're here early. And you're like, damn, maybe I made a mistake. And then you learn to trust your instinct. You learn to trust your gut. You learn to say, you know what, it's gonna happen. Watch, right? Especially if you have all these things that we talk about. You have this mental checklist or a physical checklist. These things have happened, therefore I can make this decision or execute this trade or buy this business. There's if you do your due diligence, even if you're wrong in the end, you ain't gonna feel stupid. I think you feel stupid when you place a trade because you just have a hunch. Like you feel real stupid real quick. All right, that's your next candle here. Still below the 5-day EMA line, which is the green line. We're going to adjust this. This is a real cool tool because it doesn't let you extend it until the candle has printed. Once the candle has printed, then it lets you adjust the regret. It's called a regression channel. So still down. It's pushing down the 5-day EMA line. You can see that. And then we've fallen out of this channel. Try to get back into it. Got rejected. So even more higher probability that we're going to continue to go to the downside today. Apple still struggling here with this area of support. Oh, this candle here is I call this an indecision candle. This kind of like almost like a doji, right? Kind of a little bit of indecision. But I usually don't give them a lot of. I don't pay attention to them when they're in the middle of a. If they're at the bottom of a move, they're powerful. If they're at the top of a move, they're powerful. But in the middle like this, it doesn't really carry a lot of weight. All right, Sean's putting out some stuff on the chat here. Where to see the bond action results here. That would change everything. Usually that spikes the market. It impacts the market one way or the other. And maybe that's what we're waiting for, to really pick a direction here. Even though we're still grinding down. I mean, make no mistake, we are grinding lower, right? And you see, by having these items to check against before exiting a position or entering a position, it keeps you calm, right? You don't get all like, oh, like when it started moving up here, you're like, oh my god, I should just get out. But look, so the overall momentum is trading down. All right, traders, we got about 15 more minutes and we'll be off air. Just want to thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate your love and support. Don't be shy. Put it in the chat if you have a question. If you have, you want me to shout out where you guys are joining us from. Let us know where in the world you're joining us. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I don't know if you guys ever remember that. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, but I used to love that game. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. So let me see what else is going on around the world here. Let me see. So IoT has we've been talking about IoT, Lyft, and Baba today. AMD is gonna break that bottom of the range here, so we might get some more selling pressure. And Lyft is flagging bullish, and so is Baba. So check those two out if you're looking to trade. Not financial advice, not a recommendation. You can and will lose money, so trade safe, guys.
Good luck, traders.
Man, Baba's like, is it done selling off or what? So like, meh. Just dump. You keep dumping. Where are we at on that, by the way? 348% on that trade, man. It's incredible. Amazing. And we're trying to stay patient, right? I think I shared with some of you guys earlier today that I was in the same exact trade with Apple last week on Monday. Like I had 180 puts from the gate, and like an hour later I closed it and I made like $40 or $50, whatever it was. And then it ended up going down to like 165 later in the week. And I was like, ugh, brutal, right? And why? Because of the quick money, right? You want to make the quick money. So you want to make the quick money, but the big money is in the patience for sure. All right, continuing down here on SPY. See if it can breach that 516 level. But look at that, right? Look at it starting to consolidate almost sideways, where we had this downward now, and now it just feels like it's trying to consolidate a little bit, maybe flatten out. Probably waiting for the bond auction to close before it really picks a direction. So we'll see where that goes. Most likely stay in this trade a little bit longer. It's right now it's down. It's down 1750. So it's down 32%. Right? It cost us $54. So we've already given up about 1750 of that. So it's about 34% down on the SPY trade currently. I was talking about this doji right here in the middle here that I'm kind of highlighting. This little doji, you know, it's usually a reverse or a change of trend signal. But I find them more powerful at the bottom or at the top of a move. But right now, look, it's actually, you know, it might be a little change of direction here for us. But we'll see. It's still under the 5-day EMA line. We ain't overreacting. Then the S&P is at 5167. The high is 5189. Futures look, futures are pulling back a little bit. It's down about 7.25, 0.14%. So futures are pointing down a little bit. Do you think you're slowly dying? Maybe SPY comes back up here to the top, to the bottom of this range again to get rejected again. We'll see. We'll see if that plays out that way.
Hump day, yeah.
Yeah, happy hump day to you guys. It is Wednesday, the middle of the week already. Geez, it's already the middle of March. Q1 is about to be over. Where are you at with your resolutions? Where are you at with your goals? You know, it's a good time. Take stock, man. Every quarter. That's why in games, like in football games, in basketball games, right? Like, you know, you end a quarter kind to reassess. You break the game down into quarters, you know, and it kind of it's a good thing to apply to your life. You know, oh, Q1, where am I at with my goals? You know, what was I trying to accomplish in 2024? You know, take stock. You know, still got 3 quarters left. Still got an opportunity to adjust, make adjustments in the game, as they like to say, right? To win the game. So, you know, yeah, we're 15 days away from Q1 ending. Well, it's kind of crazy how fast time goes, man. It felt like just yesterday was, you know, eating a tamal. Eating tamales, man. And champurrado and hot chocolate, you know, and it's a good time. And I love the fall, especially because of football, right? So we like the fall when the fall comes around. It's fun times, man. It's fun times. That time of the year is my favorite time of the year. It's nice and chilly, you know, jackets, hoodies, beanies, and fun times with friends and family. I really like that time of year. It's like my philosophy is to like really work hard Q1 through Q3 to kind of chill out in Q4. You know, Q4, like even business slows down a lot. People are in a holiday mood. So it's a good time to just kind of chill out, you know, and enjoy the fruits of your labor with friends and family and food. Oh, the food. All right, so we're continuing to watch the price action here on SPY. We are sitting on 515 strike price is our put play for today. Bought it for $54. We're down about $17, 32% or so on that. We're going to see if that plays out for us towards the end of the day as we're pushing the end of the show here. The SPY downward channel is working out pretty well. It's actually a pretty cool tool where it allows you to the channel adjusts on the next candle. So as the candles are being printed, you can adjust that channel, but it adjusts itself, right? So you got to activate it, but it'll adjust to what the price action is on the next candle. And then we have this upward channel that we've broken. So SPY has broken out of the upward channel and came back up to retest it and got rejected. It's doing the same again right now. It's trying to test it again, and it looks like it's getting rejected. So we may continue to go lower. I know we have the bond auction being released here in about an hour or two, which will be a catalyst for the market too. That could be negative or positive. We'll see. And so trade carefully, position yourselves, watch your position size. But this downward channel is being respected, and it might get, we might continue to get rejected all the way down at 515 or not. Probabilities, guys, probabilities. Oh, that morning coffee, man. So good. All right, so you're starting to see a little bit of a green shoot here right after the indecision candle. And we're starting to see a little bit of green on Apple. And we're starting to see a little bit of green on Tesla. Tesla's coming up to this level. See if it gets rejected at this level. Nice little candle there on SPY. But again, rejected a little bit here, rejected at that channel. So we'll see if it respects that. All right, Boeing's starting to roll over here too. That's exciting to see. We're going to continue. We're going to try to squeeze all the juice out that lemon. All right, starting to see a little bounce on AMD. It's respecting the bottom of that range. The weekly expected range is being respected. All right, so good advice there from Sean. Trade smart, right? He's probably talking about the auction coming up. It might be a catalyst for the market. It can drop us pretty fast or spike us. All right, Bitcoin 72,796. Shout out to all my Bitcoiners. All right, starting to test the top of this channel here on SPY. Looks like a little bit of momentum there. See what happens.
Hump day, yeah.
All right, Lyft is getting ready for liftoff. So is Baba. We talked about those two forming bullish flags. So again, but with the bond coming up, trade carefully. Those are good, something to look at. We also looked at the cup and handle pattern forming on Lyft. So go and check that out as well. Yeah, man. But you know what, traders? Hey, just want to thank you very much for joining us today on The Spread. Remember, we are a live trading show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 a.m. That's 30 minutes before market opens to 9 a.m. Pacific time. We are on the West Coast. I am Shimano Trader. You want to hang out and just stay in contact, you can subscribe to the show. Please subscribe to the show here on Tradecaster. You can also subscribe to our show on YouTube. And you can subscribe right from the Tradecaster stream. But please follow us, support the show, follow me on Instagram, and then again, come back again Friday, and then we'll close out the week. Let you guys know if we're still in that Boeing trade. But other than that, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your time in the market. Make sure you go outside and get some sun. And, always remember to ask God for help. Other than that, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today and spending a little bit of time with me. Good luck the rest of the way. Shimano Trader out.
Hump day.